Hey guys, I had some really good questions on my Facebook and I thought I would answer them with a YouTube video.
How do you get the head to lower at trot and canter?
That's a really good question, and actually I get a lot of questions like that. What I like to tell my students is to not focus so much on the head, but to think about the body and the effects in the body that create the head position. So think of a horse's head almost like a lever. So if the horse is imbalanced and their weight is in the front end, the head comes up, the head and neck, depending on the horse, can weigh upwards of 150 pounds. They're using their head to hoist themselves up into the gait. In all gaits, certainly there's head and neck movement. The head comes up and down to balance the body because the body is long and the head and neck are a significant portion of that weight. In order to produce a different headset, it's important to look at the conditions that go into the body to create that headset. And where a lot of people go wrong is trying to lower the head with their hands or pull the head in with their hands or other restrictive gear. And I always say that's like putting a sticker over the check engine light on your car. It's not solving the problem, it's just saying I don't want to look at the symptoms. So it's really important to me not to alter the head and neck with the hands, because with the horse whose head is very high, you're probably looking at very hurried tempo and lack of rhythm. So that's where everything stems back to, for me, is rhythm in the gaits is what allows the back to relax and the head to come out. Now with every horse, they're going to have a unique balance, and so there is, for me, not an ideal place for the head and neck to go, because it really depends on the horse, their strength, their particular balance, and the exercise that I'm doing. And the same would go for the canter, and the canter is going to have a 3-beat movement to it, so the horse is going to come down and up and down and up. We don't ever really want the head to be completely rigid in any one place. Because the horse does need their head and neck for balance, but I wouldn't want it to be up really high, throwing the horse's body forward. So if I have a horse out of alignment, out of rhythm, out of balance, they're going to have their head very high. So the solution for that horse is to teach them to find rhythmic movement in the gait, so that there's a very steady, clear count of 3 in the canters. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But rhythm is always the foundational thing that I come back to whenever there's a loss of balance. There's almost always a loss of rhythm, and that's where I come back to, is what is the rhythm like and how do I get the horse back to a clear rhythm.
You talk a lot about relaxation and openness through the back and neck. How can you provide more details on how this is achieved with young horses?
When I'm working with a young horse, the first thing I want to teach them is rhythmic movement, and that would be in hand. So I would, through my in-hand work, through pulls, through basically everything we do, I teach them to find rhythm in different tempos of the walk. And so that means that they can walk slower, they can walk faster, but no matter what they're doing, there's a clear 4-beat rhythm. So we have 1 foot off the ground at any given time and 3 on the ground. And then I would take that up to the other gaits, to the trot and the canter, especially paying attention to the transitions, whether the transitions are rhythmic, because I don't want them to throw themselves into the next gait or hurry into the next gait. I want them to be very steady and elastic through their back, meaning that their back always stays very buoyant and doesn't have to tighten and drop for their head to come up to pull them into the next gait. So if we have equal cooperation between hind end and front end, we have a back that stays nice and open, and the horse can bring their body into the next gait and start to bridge their back like so, instead of pull themselves into the next gait. So with young horses, that's where I'm going to focus a lot before I start to ride them. And then when I do ride them, pretty much the focus is with rhythm before I even start teaching specific movements or any exciting tricks. As I teach them to understand the aids are all in the context of rhythm. So in other words, I'm using my hand and my leg in a rhythmic way. So pretty much the foundation of a young horse's life is rhythm. So their back begins to develop not only looseness, but strength to carry my weight and their own body in a way that is safe for them and feels good for both of us.
Mental relaxation or physical relaxation? If the ideal is a horse who is physically balanced and supple, as well as calm and able to learn and work, Where do you begin if you probably have to make some progress on both?
That's a really good question, and the answer is not. It's not that easy to parse that apart because mental and physical relaxation are so glued together that you can't really pull out. Like, I'm going to work on mental relaxation with this horse, and when he's relaxed, then I'll go to the physical. And you can't really say I'm going to work on his body, and when his body is right, I'm going to work on his mind, because they're so enmeshed in a horse, because a horse is such a sensory being. However, that being said, the application of the work is going to vary slightly to the individual horse. So if I have a horse that's extremely anxious and I can't touch his body, I'm not going to be able to do the work in the same way that I might do with a horse who is less nervous and I'm able to touch him. But with the type of work that I do, the horse learns to find mental relaxation through physical relaxation at the same time. So the movement is rhythmic and the movement starts to open their body. And through the movement, I can guide them in the moment to relax into their body. So their body is a place that feels really good to be. They start to find a mental state that's very active, but also very relaxed. And then they start to develop trust and a nice relationship with the handler, because the handler or rider is always bringing them to balance. So you're never looking at those two pieces as two separate entities. It's physical and mental relaxation at the same time as a whole. And I think that a mistake that a lot of people make is they try to get the horse really, really relaxed first, and then they try to work the horse, or the other way around, where they try to balance the horse and then get them relaxed. And so what you often get is relaxation where the horse is so relaxed they can't work, and when they do work, they lose the relaxation. Or movement that might be in theory balanced, but the horse can't relax while doing it. So the ultimate goal for me is to have a horse doing a canter pirouette with mental relaxation, but enough engagement to get that type of movement done. So for me, the movement is creating the relaxation, because the movement is rhythmic, because the movement is opening the back, opening the neck, releasing the jaw, and creating a stability for the horse to feel safe in their own body. Mental and physical relaxation are the same thing, and I would approach slightly different each horse depending on what they needed, but I would approach relatively in the same way a horse who was nervous or physically imbalanced. So those were just a few of the questions that I was asked. There were really a lot of fantastic questions, so hopefully with this video that gives you guys some good answers, and I will do this again another time and answer some more questions. Happy holidays to you all, and thanks for watching.
Okay.
Mwah.